Welcome to the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan. Coach, what a great way to start off the season. Even though it didn't end up in your favor, it was just a very formidable opponent, and you learned a lot about your team going to Wisconsin La Crosse.
Absolutely, and we kind of thought that going in, There's a reason why La Crosse and Whitewater are on our schedule, obviously, to prepare us for our league. But I was proud of our kids. First outing, hey, we had a lot of positives, a lot of things went right for us. We got a lot of stuff to work on too, but we got to build off the positives and continue to keep working. But our kids didn't back down. They fought the entire game, and it was a fun football game.
Yeah, this team was a team that you were going to find out who you were right away against an opponent like this.
Absolutely, they had a lot of returning starters, 7 on both sides of the ball. Well coached. These guys have been pretty much playoff type caliber team the last couple of years.
Okay. So what was the message to the team when you guys got back, or if you met with them this morning or yesterday?
Yeah, well, we meet with them this afternoon, but I think the biggest thing is, we got to take the positives and run with them. And, we got obviously Whitewater coming in here this weekend, so it doesn't get any easier.
All right. Okay, well, we're going to look at those first half highlights here.
It was a nice complex, it really was, and our kids, it was a great day for football. Opening kickoff, I was really proud of our special team units. Chris Clausen kept kicking it deep, but coverage went really, really well. There's some excitement in Cobber camp, it was good.
Yeah, this was a play early on in their drive here where...
Yep, just 17's a dude. He was a weapon, obviously somebody we were keying on all week. Here comes our first punt block by Willie Julkes. Just did a great job getting off the edge hard. He's got really explosive speed. He's got long levers. That was awesome. That gave us, we were pretty excited there, that's for sure. That gave us a nice short field to work with. Unfortunately, we didn't capitalize on it. Early in games like that, it would have been nice to get some points on the board.
Okay. Here's another play by Julkes.
Yeah, he's so athletic, rangy, gifted athlete that, two-sport athlete. We're excited that, he's able to make the plays. Turnovers, that we had 4 of them. Again, you can't do that and win football games. And that's something that was kind of a sore spot for us last year, and there was a nice play by Ethan Egerton, and I thought our corners really played well. Will Burning had some nice plays. Is that Willie or that's Ethan Egerton again? Ethan was matched up on their 17 pretty much all day. It's a nice little pass out to Matt By. Both teams kind of feeling each other out really in the whole first half, and just looking for finding ways to make a play. Here we got a turnover, we got the ball back. Our D's played really well. I was, other than the 2 big plays, which were their 2 big touchdowns, we had a pretty solid day. Here's a little reverse to Andy Grabdahl, who, he's a gifted athlete, another 2-sport athlete for us too. So we're excited to see him get in the end zone. Former quarterback that we were able to move out and get the ball in his hands a little bit.
Put you up 7-0 right there, late in midway through the second quarter.
Yep. He's back on the field. Here's that, I think this one was 72.
Yeah. That guy was all over the place. He's definitely one of their more gifted athletes.
Absolutely. He was a return specialist for them too, and he's a kid that, we knew was going to do some things or he had the ability to do some things, and we needed to make sure we keep him in check, and that was a big play by them.
Yeah, and that would pretty much lead us into halftime, and at the half, what was the message in the locker room?
The biggest thing I think for us is just to continue to build off of some of the stuff that we saw in the first half, the positives. I know we had a couple special team breakdowns. I was talking with the punt unit and even our KO return units, but other than that, is just go out and do business. I mean, it was 7-7, so the game is still at hand, and our kids battled.
When we return, we'll look at those second half highlights.
Hey, you come to Concordia and you expect to play the best, okay? All right, you expect to play the best.
Welcome back. Coach, the second half was full of excitement. A very, very, very close game, and it went down to the end.
Absolutely. The third quarter again, two teams kind of going back and forth. I believe they scored towards the end of the third quarter to go, we're down 14-7 going into the fourth. And again, a fourth quarter of just back and forth and some big stops and some drives that were, cut short a little bit. But in the end, we had an opportunity to put some points on the board, come off a huge block punt by Willie Julkes again, his second one of the day, and we did that. We just said, Willie, you got to go. Get off the edge and block this ball. And he did that with about a minute to go in the game, and then we score with 30 seconds left and then kick the PAT, to tie it and put it in overtime.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and look at those highlights.
Okay, so, opening kickoff return. We had a nice little seam here a little friendly fire from our own guy, but we had a nice little crease there. It was too bad we couldn't get into that. Try to get a quick little slant route to Andy Grabdahl. Comes with a, midline was probably one of our best running plays on the day. Blake getting about 8-9 yards on that. I'll tell you what, this young man can flip a field in a hurry. 46.2 yard average, and we had great coverage all day down there. I mean, we had 5 big plays, Norm, within our special teams. Obviously, the 2 block punts by Willie, but then our punter Alex Berg getting a few tackles inside the 10-yard line. D's back on the field. Switched a couple quarterbacks up on us, but there we had a missed tackle, and unfortunately 17 goes into the end zone and put them up 14-7 on us. That was towards the end of the third quarter.
Yeah. Now, they had a couple of opportunities to kind of put us away, but
they did.
The defense definitely rose to the occasion.
They rose to the occasion. I mean, here's an opportunity. We fumbled the ball again, which, you can't be successful spilling the ball like we were. That's 4 turnovers, and we got to work on that, no question about it. But, we hung in there. We bent. We didn't break, and we gave our D's a short field, but we were able to get off. They missed a field goal, and nice play there by Will Burning, and here's their miss. So it gets us off the field, and there's a bunch of times where our guys could have gone south, and that speaks volumes for, the type of crew that we have. We got a great bunch of kids that are working hard each and every day. They got great attitudes, and they're not quitting. There's no quitting these guys. So it was great to see us battle in the first game like this. Kudos to the Wisconsin La Crosse. You think about this now. This team was predicted to finish second in their league behind Whitewater. So a lot of praise is going to this football team that returned a lot of kids. This actually was a 4th down play, and it was better than a punt could have done for us, because we got them inside their own 2-yard line, grabbed all the ball in his hands, and
kind of tripped there.
Yeah, it kind of tripped there, but it was we averaged about almost 14 yards in our punt returns, and our goal was 8. It was the first time. All last year we never reached that goal once, but this we got it in the first game. So those 2 guys back there, Will Burning and Andy Grabdahl, are weapons, that's for sure. There's the huge punt block again, and Willie looking into the camera. Mm-hmm. Here's a ball into the corner. Got Matt down inside. We ran a little fade route with him earlier, and then we came back with a breaks route, and there he is in the corner end zone.
And that tied it with the extra point. That
ties it up at 14 with 30 seconds left. Obviously still have to play some defense, but there's Diaz putting it through. 30 seconds left. Our KO coverage, we decided to kick it deep, and then we got a big sack here. There's Dan Johnson hanging on, and then Angel Ledesma coming in and cleaning it up. So that was a great way. The momentum had totally switched into our corner. We win the toss. We elect to go on defense first, and that last catch, I mean, he was just a hand grasp away from getting sacked.
That was a third down play.
Yeah, third down play, 3rd and 7, I believe, and then unfortunately, we had a drop pitch, and that's football. I'm glad to see this and see our guys pick that young man up because nobody feels worse than a guy who spills a ball on the ground. But that's why this is a team game. You need everybody, and sometimes balls take funny bounces, and unfortunately, there's things that we can learn from this game with the turnovers. We got to make sure that we're securing the ball, not giving up the big plays. But there's so many positives, and that's what we're upbeat about with this football team. I mean, we had a great fall camp. We got great leaders. There's no quit in these guys, and we just got to keep getting back to the drawing board and get better.
Okay. When we return, we'll talk to defensive coordinator and assistant head coach Kyle Bakken.
D-line, we got to play QB on that jet power stuff. Okay?
We're now joined by defensive coordinator and assistant head coach Kyle Bakken. Coach Bakken, talk a little bit about your defense. You have a lot of new faces on defense, some that got some playing time last year, but the majority of your defensive front is fairly new.
Yeah, we got a lot of new guys that have stepped into their role this year. A lot of those guys got some experience last year, but we had a senior group that graduated that had been there for 3 years, and so youth up front, but some of our experienced guys in the back rows really stepped up and kind of solidified things for us.
Yeah, now your linebackers in secondary, you have a lot of experience there, and I would say your linebackers is definitely the strength of your defense.
It is. We feel really good about it. It's a deep group from experience and playing ability, and we're excited about those guys. And they come to play, and they've been in our program, so it's a nice thing to have.
Give me your impression of their performance this past weekend.
Obviously outside of the loss, we're happy about it, happy about the effort. A lot of the stuff that, just take a couple plays out of there, and really we can put that on us coaches, and we can just do a little better job of getting them prepared on a couple things. But, game one, the effort was there, and their mentality, and they were sharp in a lot of their assignments and tackled pretty well overall. So, outside of the loss, we're happy with where we're at, but we got a lot of improvement to do, and games don't get any easier starting with this weekend.
Okay. Now, as far as your defensive front goes, Angel Ledesma saw a lot of playing time last year, but we have Michael, I'm not going to even try to say it, his last name, but he was turning a lot of heads in camp, and he's going to be very beneficial in your defensive front. Yeah,
Michael's been a great addition for us. He's just a mature young man that he's played before, went on a 2-year mission trip for his church and came back, and he's really been an anchor for us in the inside and solidified a lot of depth, but he's a playmaker as well, so that's been a nice addition for us. Yeah.
Talk about the athleticism and speed that Willie Julkes brings to your defense and the ability to play him in multiple places.
He's a unique athlete. He's very athletic. He's been playing in our system here for quite a while, and the nice part is we're able to use him in a lot of things without making personnel substitutions. So that's a big bonus for us on our defense and doing some of the things we want to do and using him. His tongue might be dragging at the end of the game. He's gonna be playing in a lot of spots, but I think he loves that, and he's just been a great player for us, and we're excited about him this year. He's really stepped out, being a senior, more vocal. I think he's playing with a lot of passion, and he's loving it, and but he's really stepped out of his shell a little bit, and he can make plays. There's no question about it.
All right. So now it's Friday nights, your ear's going to kind of be peeled somewhere else. On home Friday nights, I guess you can get to the games. Your son Jonah, at Fargo North.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting as a dad to have a kid playing and getting to pay attention to that a little bit, and when we're home, getting to watch him play, and then get to our games on Saturday. And he's been a kid that's been around our program. I think that's what's been unique about this place and with Coach Horan is it really is a big family environment. So when I started here and Jonah was a little kid, he went road trips with us, and he loved it, and he knows this program, and now he's getting the opportunity to try to get on the field and play himself.
Yeah, I totally agree. Last year, I had the experience of bringing my son on the road trip, and he absolutely loved it. That's all he's been talking about this year. When can I go? When can I go? So yes, you're definitely right about that. So with Whitewater coming to town, tell me some things that you guys are going to have to really button up on to be successful against them.
You know, we're going to have to match them physically. They're a big team. They want to run the ball, you know, impose their will on you, and they got some big boys up front, and they're tight ends, which may actually be tackles, you know, but they're skill players. They run hard, and they've got about 3 backs that can do, you know, anything at any time. So really up front, our focus. We've got to really try to limit the big plays, stop the run, tackle well, get all 11 to the ball, and then you know, not let them hit any big shots over top of us. So, you know, we're really just looking for a game within ourselves, the way we can play, be physical, get to the ball, tackle, and put ourselves in an opportunity to get the ball back for our offense and to score.
Okay. Now, Luke Peterson joins your staff as your defensive backs coach. Now, you had the privilege of coaching him in college, didn't you?
Yeah. So Pedro.
Pedro. How easy was it for him to come in and just adjust right away to what you like to do defensively?
You know, really, it's almost like he never left. You know, after he played, he was here for a year and coached with us before he went on and was a GA, and went to a couple other colleges to get some experience. So really, for me, it's like he's been here the whole time. So very smooth transition. It's not like we've got anybody new on our staff, and you know, he's been a great addition for us, and excited to have him around, and he brings his perspective and his little twist to things, and you know, it's nice to have. You don't want to get in a routine of just doing the things the way you've always done them, and so we really like to have that with our assistants and get their opinions, get their thoughts, and we put it in, and ultimately at the end, I got to make the call to this is what we're going to do, but they're a great sounding board.
Right. No, well, he's gotten burdened with the task of picking the music every week for the highlight video, because he picked the song last week, and I guess the players loved it. I didn't see the actual video of them watching it, but the first song that came on at the stadium was that song, and the players went nuts on the sideline singing it. So all I do, you've been hired.
It works,
Don't get fired, okay?
That's right.
Hey, Kyle, well, thanks for joining me, and good luck this weekend.
Hey, I appreciate it, Norm.
That was defensive coordinator and assistant head coach Kyle Bakken. All right. Well, now joined by senior linebacker Willie Julkes III, as I was told to present him because he is the third.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show, man.
Glad to be here.
Hey, you know, tough situation last Saturday, losing in overtime, but you had an outstanding game, man. An outstanding game. And was that you have 3 block punts on your career now? Didn't you block one against Augsburg last year?
Did I? No.
You just recovered it.
That was my boy Gavin Stanger.
That's when you got tripped up.
Yeah,
one of your missed scoring opportunities we talked about.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, anyway, you come from Mesa, Arizona, but you originally from Indiana?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay. What brought you to Mesa?
Mom decided to move. That's where we started our life, really. I spent most of my life in Mesa, Arizona.
Okay, and you're an physics and engineering major.
Yep, physics major, hopes of going into engineering later on.
Okay, have you started applying to different places to get into? Because we don't have a full-fledged engineering program once you finish your 4 here, right?
Yeah, so the goal after senior year is to get into some master programs.
Okay, gotcha. And what's it like being a 2-sport athlete, number one, because you run the 110-meter hurdles plus other events on the track team on top of being a football player? What's it like juggling classes and sports here?
It's really life for me, honestly. Being a 3-sport athlete in high school, it's all I know. Sports and academics and athletics, so it's nothing new. It's just life.
Okay. And why Concordia? We come all the way from Arizona to Concordia, a place where the temperature is complete. What do you say? 100% different?
Oh, yeah. You know, from Indiana, but that's not anywhere what I'm used to. But I was blessed to get the call from Coach Bakken, and that's where I ended up. They let me continue playing football. I'm blessed to run track as well, and here I am.
And what's your experience been like here?
Oh, great. Just it's the Midwest, really. It's the people. It's everything. Yep.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit about Longhorn Steakhouse. That's your favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
But it says here your favorite food is fruit or ribs.
Yep.
That's okay. You go from vegetarian to carnivore.
Look, you put the food in front of me, I'll throw down.
All right.
I'll throw down with anybody.
Okay, I get it. But talk a little bit about playing along with Sam Michael, Alex Berg, and Dan Johnson. You guys are you got a lot of experience and extremely talented. What's it like out there, playing with those guys? What's it like in the huddle? You guys feed off of each other?
Oh, for sure. These are boys that'll play. And when they play, you know that you got to be at your top of your game to compete with them, and you don't want to let them down. So it's great playing alongside with these guys. Berg especially, he's a guy that demands your best, and so you got to show out. You have to.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Willie Julkes III.
It was a pleasure.
Appreciate you. Hey, good luck this week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, appreciate you. That was senior linebacker Willie Julkes III. Well, Coach, it doesn't get any easier this coming week. You return, Wisconsin Whitewater returns to Fargo-Moorhead, a place where they took an L the last time they were here. Last year they kind of got revenge, and this year they're coming in ranked number 3 in the country, as we expected.
Yeah, they're a great football program. Kevin Bolus has done a nice job in getting those guys back. Will continue to be at the top in the country. This is a team that's won 6 of the last 12 national championships. And last year they got all the way to the semis. They were 13-1. They defeated us 24-6. They got great size. They're well coached. They got a lot of athletes. But we want these type of games. We want to play the best, and we want to make sure that we're prepared going into the MIC. And these two teams are going to do that for us.
All right. It's the home opener for the Cobbers in the 2019 season. They face the University of Wisconsin Whitewater with a noon kickoff at Jay Christensen Stadium. This has been the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan.